The Michigan Department of Natural Resources has many boats and vessels, none more than Fisheries Division. Every day, professionals are out on the water trying to answer questions to ensure we keep our world-class fishery. Watercraft used for these sampling events can be from as small as a kayak to as large as the Division's research vessel fleet. These larger class vessels, ranging from 55 to 65 feet, are asked to sample in harsher conditions and at times up to 40 miles offshore. During scenarios like these, assistance from others as emergencies arise are quite limited, so staff are trained to handle the situation, and safety is always first. From time to time, even the most experienced sailor can get caught up in unpredicted weather events. Being prepared to handle these scenarios is always the first defense for the safety of the crew. In these large vessel missions, wind and waves are not always the enemy. The harsh climate of both air and water temperatures are usually the biggest killer. Number one goal of the vessel, keep all the crew on the boat and always be thinking of safety. As is the case with Fisheries Division vessels, falling over or being dragged over are the biggest threats. While deploying gear, everyone needs to be aware of their surroundings and the possible risks. Working at night adds another element of danger, with almost no visibility outside the vessel. Not only do all crews wear a life jacket, but they all have an attached personal light to ensure they can be seen in the darkest of nights. Because of the risks associated with big water fisheries work, each vessel has developed their own safety manual, identifying potential risks and how to use safety equipment located for that specific vessel. When we think of boater safety, the first thing that comes to mind are life jackets. But there's more to it than that. PFDs, or personal flotation devices, have different types and intention, and every vessel has specific requirements. Oftentimes, on these larger vessels, large groups come to experience and learn specific fisheries techniques, but safety stays as the number one goal. Vessels will always have enough life jackets for everyone. For the Fisheries Division fleets, you'll find things like life jackets, fire extinguishers, throwable life rings, first aid kits, flares, retrievable ladders, life rafts, and immersion suits. These suits are designed to keep people alive while in the water. They are not designed to work in, as they are clumsy and bulky. It does take some practice getting into, so the crews over the years have always devoted time in deploying the suits and jumping in the water. There's no better way to know how your equipment will react than to practice using it. In this instance, the crew was testing the timing of deployment of the inflatable life jacket and its ability to flip over a potentially unconscious victim. One more training that should occur more often is the use of flares. All boats on the Great Lakes are required to have flares, but there's a good chance most mariners would not be able to discharge quickly in an emergency situation. The procedures for firing off flares changes by the type, and the best way to be prepared for emergency is to be familiar with your flare type. And in conclusion, We at the Michigan DNR will continue to review safety procedures and make changes as needed to ensure our staff and crew are always safe. Safety does come first.